Welcome to this grab bag. We're going to be thinking about how to build your PCK. You might have come across this idea before and you might not, but it's super important. So stick with me just for a few minutes as we take a look. So Professor Rob Coe and some of his colleagues did an analysis of what factors influence outcomes for students the most. And of 6 strategies or elements of great teaching, they categorized them like this. They said that 2 strategies showed some evidence of having an impact, and they were teacher beliefs and professional behaviour. So teacher beliefs, what do teachers think learning is? What do they believe the proper role of the teacher is? And professional behaviours, things like being reflective, being collegiate, responding to parental questions and so on, that sort of thing. The next pair of teaching elements with evidence for their impact on learning are classroom climate and classroom management. Classroom climate means setting a motivational atmosphere through teacher expectations and the relational side of the classroom. Classroom management refers to strategies for keeping students on task and away from misbehaviour. And these were seen to have a moderate impact on outcomes for students and pupils. Finally, there were 2 elements of great teaching that were found to have a strong evidence for their impact. One is hardly surprising, that is the quality of instruction. That was very important in bringing students on in their learning, things like the effectiveness of questioning. But the other is perhaps less obvious, and it's what this video is about. It's called Pedagogical Content Knowledge, or PCK for short, and there's strong evidence that a teacher's PCK is a central factor in student learning and student outcomes. So, what is pedagogical content knowledge? Let's begin by trying to understand this concept. Pedagogical content knowledge is made up of 2 elements. First, it's made up of your teaching expertise. That's the skills and the strategies that you know of and that you can draw from to deploy in your classroom. So it might be things like scaffolding your tasks or knowing the power of analogies to exemplify a concept and so on. Then on the other side, we've got subject expertise, and this is about how well you know your stuff. How much of an expert are you in your subject? This could be related to the level of qualification you hold, perhaps, or what you did your dissertation on, or it could be the years of experience in a particular industry. It also includes your knowledge of what the curriculum contains and how well you understand those ideas and concepts, or how well you can personally perform the skills that you're supposed to teach. But neither of these on their own are all that useful for a teacher. But it's when they're combined that the magic happens. And it's the combination of these 2 things that we refer to as pedagogical content knowledge. It's knowing your subject the way a teacher needs to know the subject in order to construct a curriculum that leads a novice through that subject. So an example might be making use of an analogy to explain the concept of antecedent rainfall to an AS geographer. The use of analogy is the teaching expertise part, and the understanding of antecedent rainfall is the subject expertise part, but putting them together to make a strategy that fits your context, that's PCK. This is how Schulman, the originator of the concept, defined it way back in 1986. The way of representing and formulating the subject content to make it more understandable to others. So how do we do this? How do we go about making sure our PCK is up to scratch? We can, of course, improve our subject knowledge, or we could study new strategies and hope that those things overlap, or we can be a bit more precise. Back to Coe and colleagues from 2014 said this: targeting support for teachers at particular areas where their understanding or their knowledge of student misconceptions is weak may be a promising strategy. Find out what student misconceptions are most common and focus your efforts on working out what to do about them. A 2015 paper from Evans and colleagues suggests 4 key things that can help with building PCK. Now, what's key about this building of PCK is that these things need as much as possible to be done within your subject area, because PCK is by definition subject specific. So tasks that work for teaching a geographical concept may not work at all for a mathematical concept. And a strategy that works for teaching animal feeding is unlikely to go down too well in catering, for example. So what do Evans et al. Suggest? So first, we need to reflect on our own learning of a topic. What helped us develop that skill or that knowledge in the first place? This might be a long time ago for some of us, but it's worth considering. Secondly, make sure you're in contact with other teachers of your subject, whether that's in college or outside of the college, in real life or online. Watch them, talk to them, see how they do it, ask them about their thinking and steal their ideas. Thirdly, give new things a go, try new strategies, make use of new techniques, see what works in day-to-day practice for your students in your context and what doesn't. And maybe then even be prepared to kind of help a colleague out with the wisdom that you've amassed. What are the tasks and activities that really seem to make the lights turn on for your students? And then finally, get some guidance from an expert. Go and gently pester a teacher who you feel is really competent with that particular topic or with that particular subject and talk to them about their thought processes and their planning. Again, beg, steal and borrow to build that PCK. Here are the references for this video. Feel free to chase them up. But that's it for now. So thanks for watching.